I've got, so I'll say morning to Di and Sue and Kath, who all want the video this week. And I'm going to mute everybody.
Right.
So that's done. And we're going to start in childs today. So as we come down to childs, come into the childs with your knees together and just allow your head to rest towards the mat and your arms are alongside your body. So you're quite curled up in your child's pose in Balasana. And when you first come into it, maybe you think that your head's not going to get anywhere near the mat. So just take a few breaths here and see if with each exhalation, you can allow the head to sink a little bit lower. Excuse me. Now, if that's not happening at all today, and sometimes it doesn't, you might just feel a little bit tighter in our shoulders, in our backs. So you can just place a block and allow your head to rest on the block. So that's important. So don't not do it. Don't think, oh, I can get there, because that's not what this practice is about. I want you to be comfortable in child. So if your head's not getting there, rest it on that block. And we're just going to take a few deep breaths, excuse me, in this position. And I'll explain what our theme is for today. So we're working on our energy, and in particular, we're going to talk about our energetic orbs. So you might not have heard that term before. I'm sure you've all heard about chakras. And chakras are energy centers that we read about in yoga and all of the ancient texts. It talks about the subtle body. So not our physical body, things that we can identify within the body, but the subtle body. Things that we have a feeling that are there. And we relate that to our chakras. So as you're in this position and you're breathing, I want you to send the breath all the way down to the base of the spine. I'm a bit croaky this morning. So to the base of the spine, and imagine that you're holding a big energetic ball or an orb at the base of the spine. And as you breathe in, that orb expands. And then as you breathe out, just try and leave that orb in that expanded position. So visualize it staying open. So you're breathing in all the way to the base of the spine. Breathing out, leaving that expansive feeling, that orb, that energetic orb. And then work your way up your body. So as you breathe in, breathing into the bottom of the rib cage, expanding an orb there. And as you breathe out, leave that orb open. So you're starting to find some freeness and some openness in the body from the base of the spine to the ribs. And then work your way up to your neck. Breathing in to the neck, leaving a big expansive ball as you exhale. And then breathing in to the top of the head. and leaving that expansive ball open at the top of the head. So if we relate these orbs to our chakras, which follow the base of the spine, but in our case, we're just going to relate to them as energy centers, as energetic orbs. And as we go through the practice, we're going to focus on these orbs, keeping them open, which might change the way that you move into some of the asanas, because we don't want to ever jam ourselves into an asana. We don't want to block off that energy channel. We don't want to crush those balls, those orbs. So just take another long, deep breath, opening up all of those energetic orbs from the base of the spine, into the ribs, up into the neck, up into the head. And then as you exhale, keeping those orbs open, keeping that energy flowing. On your next inhalation, just shift yourself forward into an all-fours position. So from this all-fours position, the next time you breathe in, just round your back. Now remember, you're holding all of those energetic balls. So we've rounded our back here as if we're coming up into a cat position. Just pause here for a moment. Your gaze is down to the mat. And as you breathe in, breathe into all of our energetic balls. Think of the one in the pelvis. Imagine that there's one in the lumbar region of the spine. Imagine one in the belly, up towards the ribs, the neck, and the top of the head. And take another long, deep breath in here. And as you exhale, keeping all those orbs open and free, just lead with your chin and your chest, come down into cow pose. But thinking about those orbs, don't drop the one around your abdomen. Everything is open in that mid-channel. Breathing freely into the body, finding some openness. Take another breath in, round your spine, keeping those orbs all stacked, breathing into all of that energy. Your gaze is down to the mat. Breathing out. Sending your chin and your chest forward, your hips come up to the ceiling, but don't drop that abdomen orb. Keeping the abs tight. And then inhale and come back to all fours. Just observe how your body is feeling as you visualize that open channel all the way from the top of the head to the base of the spine. Inhale. And as you exhale, just sit your hips halfway back towards your heels. So your arms are reaching out in front of you. And then on your next inhalation, reach your right arm up. So feeling that openness through the front of the body, all the way down through that channel. And as you exhale, dive the hand through. So you're keeping your hips where they are. We're just reaching with the right hand. The back of the hand slides along the mat, opening through the back body. Inhale, reaching up, keeping that position with the hips halfway back. Exhale and diving through. One more, inhale, reaching up. Exhale and dive through. So reach in as far away with that right hand as you can. Take your gaze back to the center. So your head and your neck are now back in alignment, all the way down your spine. Breathe into those energetic orbs here. Breathing in, breathing out, keeping that openness in the body as you reach away. One more breath. And then bring your hands back to center. We're still sitting back towards our hips. We're going to do the same on the other side. So inhale and reach your left hand up. Twisting in the upper body, keeping that energy center open and free. So when we talk about our energy channel down the middle of our body, it's referred to as Sushumna. And then dive the hand through on your exhalation. But remember, we're not collapsing in our bodies. We're keeping that channel open. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, diving through. Really opening through the backs of the shoulders. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, diving through. So keeping those hips halfway back towards your heels. Leave your hand where it is. And turn your gaze to the mat. So find that length once more from the top of the head, down the neck, all the way down to the base of the spine. Just thinking about these orbs, thinking about how they relate to your pelvis, your diaphragm, your ribs, all the way up to the roof of the mouth. So when we talk about standing straight and strong in Tadasana, we stack all of these areas, one on top of the other. Inhale and bring yourself back to all fours. Just have a little shimmy side to side, easing out. And then on your next inhalation, toes into the mat. As you exhale, lift your hips and your heels and your, downward facing dog. Drop your head through your arms. Have a little walk with your feet. So remember, as we do all of our asanas, we're thinking about those energetic orbs. We're not dropping them forward towards the mat. We're keeping that nice, straight, open channel. So think about the position of your head and neck. Imagine that you're holding an orange and you're trying to hold it towards your chest, and that will keep your neck in alignment and keep that openness. And think about the abdomen. Don't drop the abdomen down. So now allowing your heels to rest towards the mat. Allow your head to drop through your arms. Inhale. And as you exhale, either step or jump to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. So allow your head to drop towards the mat here. Now have a bend in your knees. So if your knees are bent, that will allow you to really round the back over the thighs and find some release in the sacrum area. So we always think when we come into Uttanasana that it's important to get our legs straight, but it's actually more important to open up through the top part of the body, from the top of the head all the way down the spine to the hips. That's it, and you get more of an opening with your knees bent. So now on your next inhalation, slowly, slowly, slowly roll yourself up and come up to standing with your hands just alongside your body. Taking a few breaths here. As you inhale, sweep your hands forward and up, so you're reaching away. So remember that feeling of stacking all of those energetic orbs from the top of the head, down through the neck, down through the central channel, the Sushumna. And as you exhale, dive your hands back down to the mat, come down to Uttanasana, forward fold. So slight bend in the knees, drop in the top of the head. Inhale as you slide your hands up to your shins, find that half forward fold. Tuck in that chin once more, keeping that orange in place. Inhale. As you exhale, slide your hands back to the mat, back into Uttanasana. And then step your left leg back behind you and place your knee down on the mat. So we're in a lunge position. Inhale and bring your body up to an upright position. So check in the alignment of your right heel, that it's under your right knee. So adjust it so that you've got that box shape between your legs, and your right hand is resting on your right thigh. Inhale, left arm up, reaching away. So find that length through the body from the top of the head all the way down to the pelvis. As you exhale, just add in a slight side bend, coming over towards the right. So you're reaching over with that right hand, left hand, sorry. Inhale here. Maybe as you exhale, you can reach a little bit further. Opening up to the left side. Inhale, bringing your hands back upright. Exhale, place your left hand back to the mat to the left of your right foot. And inhale your right hand up into the air. So find some length through the top of your head, through your neck, all the way down to the base of the spine. Remember those orbs all neatly lined up, all open and expansive. Inhale, exhale, hands back to the mat. Inhale, exhale, put your left toes into the mat as you release your leg and come back to downward facing dog. Just take a breath here. And as you inhale, shift your weight forward into plank. Just holding in plank. Again, thinking about that energetic channel through the center of the body. Never forget it, never let go. Don't drop the tummy here. Inhale. So two options to come down to the mat. You can just bend your elbows or you can take your knees to the mat as you exhale. And lower yourself down. Try not to come down with a crash. So as you inhale, just your hands are now alongside your chest. Engage your tummy muscles, find the length in your neck and lift your hands just a couple of inches away from the mat. So find that strength through the center of the body. Inhale, reach your hands forward. Little fingers are down towards the mat, but just an inch away. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands back into cactus position with your hands up above the mat, so just floating above the mat. Inhale, exhale, place your hands back alongside your chest. Take a breath here, toes into the mat. And as you inhale, engage your tummy muscles, bring yourself back up to plank. Find that strength. Engage all those energetic orbs. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your feet in a little closer if you need to. Just take a breath here. And then as you inhale, come up onto your toes, step or jump to the front of your mat. Back into Uttanasana, forward fold. Just take a breath here, let everything settle. Let your head drop towards the mat. Inhale. As you exhale, step your right leg back. So drop your right knee to the mat. Find that position, that alignment, and bring your upper body up into that high lunge position. So your left hand is on your left thigh. You're going to do the same on the other side. So inhaling your right hand up, reaching up to the ceiling. Find that length. Stack those energetic orbs, one on top of the other. Thinking about the one at your abs as well. So your abs are not forward. They're all in alignment. And as you exhale, reach over to the left-hand side. Find that opening through the right side of the body. Taking another breath there. And maybe on your next exhalation, you can reach just a little bit further. Inhale, and as you exhale, sweep your hand back to the mat, right hand to the mat. Inhale, left hand up to the ceiling, reaching away. Well done. Find that opening to the front of the chest. Keep reaching. Inhale. Exhale, take your hands back to the mat. Right toes into the mat. Release your left foot, your back in downward facing dog. So remember, I'm going to keep reminding you about your energetic orbs, keeping them stacked, not dropping them onto the mat. Keeping that open feeling. Keeping that energy flowing. Inhale, shifting your weight forward, coming into plank. So reposition your hands if you need to. Find that plank position. And using your exhalation to lower you to the mat, either knees or just bending the elbows. Exhaling down. Arms are alongside your chest, toes are into the mat. Inhale, engage your tummy muscles, lift your hands 1 or 2 inches away from the mat. Inhale, reach your hands forward, keeping your little fingers away from the mat. Inhale, exhale, arms back to cactus. So the palms are facing down, hovering above the mat. Inhale, bring them back alongside the body. Engage your tummy muscles. Inhale, bring yourself back up to plank. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your feet in a little bit closer. And just walk your hands back towards your feet. Back to Uttanasana, forward fold. Taking a breath here. And as you inhale, just slowly bring yourself up. Reaching your hands up and overhead. Find that length. Keeping those energy channels open. Exhale, hands to the side body. So is everybody okay? Yeah, good. So standing up straight and tall in your Tadasana. Find that connection to the mat with the soles of your feet. Shoulders are down and relaxed. You're stacking all of those energetic orbs, one on top of the other. And we're keeping them open and free. Feel that energy flowing in your body. Where are you blocking it off? Are you sending your knees back, creating tension in your legs? So we need to keep the energy flowing all the way down to the soles of the feet. Have you got tension in your shoulders? Just try and release it. Then inhaling your hands up and overhead, reaching up to the ceiling. As you exhale, diving down to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Keeping that energy flowing. Inhale, take your hands up to your shins. Create that half forward fold. Find that length from the top of the head, through the neck, all the way to your hips. Inhale. Exhale, slide your hands back to the mat and walk out to downward facing dog. So taking a breath here. As you inhale, plant your left foot into the mat and send your right leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale as you round your back, bring your knee up to your chest, step it forward, coming back to our high lunge position once more. Check in with the alignment with this right knee. We want the knee over the ankle and your left toes are into the mat. So our foot is raised from the mat. Inhale your right hand up. Exhale, bring it back into a cactus position. Inhale up. Exhale, reaching over to the side. Inhale up. Exhale, placing it back on your right leg. So we did a side bend with the other direction this time. A little bit harder to do because you can find yourself wobbling to the left. So with your left hand now, reach your left hand up. Exhale over to the side. So we're now bending in the other direction, like we did before. Inhale up. Exhale, place your left hand back on the mat. So remembering to keep our energetic orbs in alignment here. Inhale your right hand up into the air. And as you exhale, can you straighten that left leg? So find that length from the top of the head all the way to the pelvis, keeping those energy channels open. Inhale. Exhale, take your hand back to the mat and release your leg back into downward facing dog. Just take a breath here. Inhale. And as you exhale, just start to shift through plank and lower yourself down to the mat. So this time, our hands alongside our chest once more. Inhale, reaching them forward. Exhaling them back into cactus. Inhaling back alongside your chest. Toes into the mat. As you exhale, bring yourself back up into plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Reposition your feet if you need to. Let your head drop. So sending your weight into your right foot this time. Inhale. Exhale, left leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, round the back, bend the knee, step it forward. Drop your right knee to the mat. Inhale and bring yourself up, upright position. So the right toes are into the mat. Inhale, right hand up. Your left hand is just resting on your thigh. Exhale, reaching over. Trying not to collapse. Inhale up. Exhale, release the hand back to the knee. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, reaching over to the left hand side. So we're twisting to the other side now. Inhale up. Exhale, release your right hand to the mat. And inhale that left arm up to the ceiling. Find that opening through the chest. Inhale. Exhale, place your hands back to the mat. Release that left knee back to an all fours position. And take your knees wide, toes together, and just sit back into an extended child's pose. Just enjoy that lovely stretch. Keep breathing. Keeping those energetic orbs expanding as you breathe in. Keeping them open as you breathe out. And then bring yourself back up to an all fours position. Taking a breath in here, find that alignment from the top of your head all the way to the pelvis. Toes into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. So inhale, right leg up into the air. Exhale, step it forward. Drop your left foot down into warrior one position. So the left foot is 45 degrees. Just find that grounding through your feet. Inhale as you reach your hands forward and up. So find this length from the tops, from your fingertips, all the way down your arms, keeping those energetic orbs open. So when we're in warrior one, quite often, as yoga teachers will tell you to sink down into the pose, which is fine as long as you're not sinking through your lower back. All the sinking should be through the legs. We want to keep that length from your fingertips, down the arms, down the back, all the way to the back leg. Inhale. Exhale as you drop your right hand forward, left hand back. We're in warrior two. So thinking about your alignment in warrior two. Don't let that right knee drop down towards the mat. It should be stacked above your right ankle. Keeping the energy channels open. Inhale. Exhale, slide your left hand down your leg, right hand reaches up. Peaceful warrior. Take your gaze to your right hand. Keep breathing. And then as you exhale, sweep your hands up and over like a windmill, all the way back to the mat. And just swivel that back leg just a little bit so that the angle is not quite 45 degrees, but I want you to feel that your heel is still making contact with the mat. I'm going to come around the other way so you can see what we're going to do here. So we're coming into our peak pose, which is that mouthful, Baddha Utthita Ashwa Sanchalasana. Forgot the last one, but it means Sanchalasana. It's Baddha Utthita Ashwa Sanchalasana. Bound, extended, stepping horse. Doesn't that sound interesting? So from this position, with your left foot down into the mat, feel well grounded with your feet and rest your chest alongside or along your right thigh. So you can stay here, or you can plant your left hand into the mat and you can reach up with your right. So we're creating an opening and a length through your back from your fingertips to your fingertips. That's it. Now, if this feels good for you and you can keep that length in the spine, you might want to take your left hand and bring it through your legs. Yeah. And bring your right hand and just place it on your back. So you can twist around to the right. So your right hand is just resting on your back. Now, if this is feeling good, then you can do the full bind. I'm coming back around to the other way to show you. So instead of diving your left hand through the legs, bring it around and send it from the front so that your left hand comes around the back and connects. Now, if that's not going to work for you, not in a million years, you can take a strap or a t-shirt and taking left hand dives from the right side of the body, right hand through, hold onto your t-shirt. And again, if this is not good, drop that left knee down to the mat and try it from here. But with all of those modifications, remember the energetic orbs. And just having a look at you all, seeing how that's working. So right leg is forward, left leg is away from the mat or lifted. Left arm, bring it around, dive it through the hole. Bring your right hand around to meet it. It's not easy. It matches the difficult name. Baddha Utthita. Baddha means bound. Utthita means extended. Ashwa is horse. And then Sanchalasana is stepping. And then release your hands to the mat, release your knee, come back to a well-earned child's pose. So hopefully you're feeling the energy flowing now, warmed up a bit, and we're getting the energy flowing through our bodies, through those energetic orbs. And it's nice to have a little challenge in the mornings, isn't it? An interesting pose. So just let your breath settle. On your next inhalation, bring yourself back up to all fours. As you exhale, toes into the mat, lifting your knees and your hips, coming up into downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. So the right foot into the mat, left leg up into the air. Find that three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale, sending the leg forward, stepping it through. Drop your right foot into warrior one position. So 45 degrees on the right foot. Your chest is resting on your thigh. Engage your tummy muscles. Make sure everything is stacked. So we're keeping that straight line from the top of the head. Inhale, lifting up. Warrior one. Reaching away. Remember your energetic orbs. Top of the head, third eye, into the throat, into the chest, into the navel, into the sacrum, and then at the root, at the base of your pelvis. 7 energetic orbs. They all relate to our chakras. Inhale, exhale, drop your left hand forward, right hand behind, warrior two. Take your gaze down the middle finger of your left hand. Inhale, exhale, drop your right hand down the back leg, reach the left arm up, peaceful warrior. Keep breathing and keep that opening through that energy channel. Inhale, exhale, windmill your arms forward down to the mat alongside your left foot and just slightly adjust your right foot. So it's not completely straight, but it's not quite 45 degrees. So we're going to try our balancing stepping horse. So right hand down to the mat, reach your left hand up. Find that opening through the chest, find that length. It'll help when we come to wrap our hands. Inhale, exhale, place your hand back to the mat. So you can try just by sending your right hand through the gap and just resting your left hand on your back. So just starting to feel into that little bit of a twist. And then if you want to go for the full bind, you're going to sweep this left hand around, dive it through the gap, send your right hand behind and grabbing hold of those fingers. And remember the options. Use a strap, use your t-shirt, take your right knee to the mat if this doesn't work for you. But as you're in this bind, try and find that length and openness through the Sushumna channel. You're all doing really well. Well done. That's it, Julie. You're going. That's it. You've got the right arm and right connection. Well done, Sue. Brilliant. Inhale. As you exhale, release. Bring your hands back to the mat. Take your knees to the mat. Sink back into your child's. Keep breathing. Just allow everything to settle. And then as you inhale, bring yourself back up into all fours. Toes into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. So just using this downward facing dog to allow yourself to just walk around to the long edge of the mat. So just take a few steps at a time and reposition into a wide leg forward fold. Walking around the long side of the mat. That's it. Your hands are down on the mat in front of you. Have a bend in your knees if you can't connect to the mat, or take a block and place your hands on the block. So remember these multiplications. I want you to just find that opening through the energy channel. I don't want you to try your utmost to get your hands to the mat if they won't reach. I'd rather you have your legs really deeply bent or your hands on a block to keep that energy channel open. So your chin is tucked towards your chest as if you're holding that orange. So think about that straight line from the crown of the head all the way down through the neck, down to the hips. And then taking a deep breath in, slowly, slowly bring yourself up to standing with your feet still in this wide leg position. So find that connection with the soles of the feet. Feel really strong here. Find that length in the spine. Imagine I'm pulling you up from a string from the crown of your head. And as you inhale, reach your hands out wide. Check what's happening with your knees. Have you locked your knees? So find some softness in the legs. So think about your energetic orbs in this position. This is Utthita, extended, Baddha Utthita, so it's hand and feet pose. And in this pose, you should really feel the energy flowing through the body from the top down to the pelvis and all the way across the chest out through your fingertips. Feel that openness in the body. Inhale, exhale, release your hands. And just walk your feet in so that they're not quite hip distance apart. They're slightly wider. Have your toes pointing out at an angle. Bring your hands to the heart center. Find that straight line. And as you exhale, sink down into your Malasana. Sinking into your deep squat. And you can have a little wiggle here, maybe going up onto one foot and then the other, easing out into the hips. And then coming back to center, Heels to the mat. Release your hands in front of you. Reaching forward. Finding that openness through the spine. And then slowly, gently lower yourself down to the mat. Well done. So coming down to the mat, just hug your arms around your shins and drop your head forward. Come into that nice, tightly curled up position. Cosmic egg. Take a few breaths here. Releasing from the back of the neck, all the way down the spine. Release your shoulders, don't hunch your shoulders up. Inhale. And as you exhale, release your hands to your shins and slowly lower your back to the mat. So, excuse me, we're in semi-supine. So your feet are flat on the floor. Just checking in with that lower back. Help it to find its neutral position. So rotating through the pelvis. Just letting that spine drop towards the mat, but not forcing it into the mat. And then take your hands out wide, palms facing down. Inhale as you bend your right knee and place your right ankle just below your left knee. And as you exhale, allow the legs to drop to the left-hand side. You can take your gaze to the right. So enjoy that twist through the spine. Feel that openness through the right side of the body as you're reaching your arms out along the mat, shoulders are resting into the mat, breathing into the right side of the body. And then on your next inhalation, engage in your tummy muscles, bring your head back to center, bring your knees back to center, release your foot. Just take a moment here, just feeling the difference between the one side and the other, just observing how the body feels. Just melt into the mat. And then inhale and bring your left knee towards you as you place your left ankle just below your right knee. Exhaling your feet over towards the right. Taking your gaze to the left. Breathing into the left side of the body now. Enjoying that twist. Enjoy that feeling of openness. And just let your shoulders and your arms melt into the mat. And then on your next inhalation, bring yourself back to center, turning the head to center, knees to center. Release your feet. We're coming into Shavasana, so if you want to grab your layers or your blankets, we'll just have a few moments lying on our mat in Shavasana. You're lying out on your mat. Have your feet slightly wider than hip distance apart. Let your toes drop out to the side. Have your arms alongside the body in a gentle V, palms facing up. Breathing in through the nose. Just sigh it out through the mouth. Let it go. Breathing in. Breathing out. I read a nice quote in a book this week from my book, Yoga of the Subtle Body. And he said, as you breathe out, let all of the wind out of your sails. I think that's a nice visualization. You can really let go. Breathing in, breathing out, letting all the wind out of your sails. Staying here for a few more breaths. So start to bring some movement back to your body now. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. And on your next inhalation, reaching your arms up and overhead to a full body stretch. Pointing from your fingers to your toes. Exhaling, letting the arms rest on the floor behind you. Inhaling, bending your knees. And as you exhale, roll onto your right hand side. Just bring your knees up closer to your chest. Give yourself a touch. And when you're ready, slowly bringing yourself back up to an upright seated position. So sitting up straight and tall, take your hands to the mat alongside you. I want you to just breathe into your energetic orbs in this position. So as you breathe in, send the breath all the way down to that orb in the pelvis, filling up the orb in the ribs, the heart center, up to the throat, the third eye, the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, leave all that energy in those orbs, keeping that upright position, feeling open and free and energized, ready to start the day. Bring your hands to the heart center. Namaste.
Hope everybody's feeling okay.